My name is Todd Baggett. I'm the President and CEO of Redline Solutions, and today we're going to talk about PTI case labeling for the packing shed. Redline has a suite of products that manage traceability from the time that you receive your product from the harvest to the time that you ship it. We enable PTI case and label printing and have easy-to-use barcode-driven and standards-based software. We use mobile scanners that communicate either over Wi-Fi or cellular and provide a complete audit log that shows the date, time, and the operator for every process that is completed. We manage internal traceability and publish that information to external systems, and our open architecture allows us easily to integrate with external systems. So let's look at the PTI requirements. We record source and source lot on the inbound. You have to capture that. You then need to tie those source lots to the pack lots, and then your case traceability, you have to put a label on the case that has the G10 and the lot number. You then need to record that information on your outbound shipments and have the ability to provide that information in electronic format if needed. Let's look at the case labels themselves. On the left, what you'll see is what is the basic required information, which has the G10, the batch or lot number, and the PTI voice pick code. And in commerce, you'll see the one on the right commonly, which has included the commodity, the variety, size count, and other useful information. There's also a hybrid pallet tag, which is required for the pallet. And for this basically has the company name on it, and then every barcode represents a different combination of G10 and lot number and has the quantity behind it. You'll have a label at the bottom that actually says the SSCC, which is used for advanced shipment notification, and the human readable information. We want to look at PTI from a 30,000-foot view. We put the label on the case that has the G10 and lot number on it, and then that information is labeled when it's packed and is used by every receiver along the supply chain, which is why PTI is called a whole chain traceability. We look at retailer adoption. The current retailers that are using PTI include Wal-Mart, Publix, Stater Brothers, and the Del Hayes companies. And in 2014, Whole Foods has announced they will begin using PTI, and there's others that are pending. So how are you going to label your cartons? It's really going to be driven by a couple things: your packing process and the percentage of cartons that you label. So if we look at your packing process, you got to say, do I have standalone packing tables? Do I have value-add pack cells? Is there an automated conveyor? And is there any more than one line or more than one product converging onto the conveyor at one time? Last thing to look at is what's your case level unit. So how do you determine what percentage of the product you should be labeling today? The best practices call for 100%, but in reality, you have to look at it and say, what percentage of my customers are requiring it? And in deciding what's right for your business, you need to look at, are you in a commodity that has a high risk? If so, you probably need to be doing it now to give yourself the ability to clear yourself if there is a recall. The other thing is, what is your risk tolerance? We've seen lawsuits in the last couple years that have really changed the nature of what's going on in traceability and made it more required. And then what percentage of your customers are requiring the PTI labels? When do you put on the labels manually? Really, it's in any manual packing environment, which includes bagging lines, repack stations, manual packing tables, any of the large-sized units such as bins, large bags, or store-ready displays. So really, it's any non-automated environment. Manual application options: you can print and apply the labels. You can print them in batch and just tear those off and take them out to the line, or you can actually do a peel and present where you actually print the label, take it off on your fingers, and then put it onto the box. Once you are doing this, the other thing you can look at is your pre-print, rewind, and apply. And in that scenario, you're printing the labels, rewinding them, and then using an applicator such as this tabletop applicator or this hand applicator to put the label onto the carton. So when you're doing automated print and apply, you have single pack styles where you have only one pack style coming down the line, or multiple pack styles converging on one line. And here's a picture of what that looks like for a single pack style on a line, and here's an example of what that looks like with multiple, where I have things being packed individually and then moving down the conveyor onto a converged area where I've got a mixing of the different pack styles. If you are doing multiple pack styles, you need to have some form of box recognition, and one method that we use is what we call a pack code, and that's where we scan a small barcode label that's applied by the packer when they're packing that box. And it works well when you have a limited number of items and you know in advance which box is going to have what product in it. If you don't have those two scenarios, you'll probably be using a vision system where we actually recognize markings on the pallet, which can be logos or other graphical elements, or the size and style may be stamped onto the box to help us give that visual cue to say what is the proper G10 to put on this. This works really well when you've got multiple products packed on the same line. So the products that we have that address this are PTI Lite and Redline Packing. PTI Lite is an easy and powerful labeling solution that gives you complete traceability. It allows you to work on a single PC or in a cloud system, and also can be used for print on demand, print in batches, or with a printer applicator. We provide live installation assistance and have awesome technical support, and it's really the only product in its class that has complete traceability. So if we look at one of our current users of PTI Lite, RPE out of Wisconsin, they're an integrated grower, packer, shipper of potatoes, and they have their own packing facilities as well as 50+ contract packers. They needed a single system to allow them to view production from all of their packing locations and are using a central cloud database. This gives them a single source for the G10s and the rolled up reporting of all of the production from their own sites as well as the contract sites. They're using PTI Lite, and they use a combination of print on demand, print, rewind, and apply, and print and automatically apply. And this was all done to meet the Wal-Mart requirements. Now, if we look at Redline Packing, it's part of our suite and is really for managing one or more sites, and it handles all types of printing on demand, print and apply, and also gives you the real-time view into your packing operations. As we look at this in the single line configuration or in the multiple line configuration, in the multiple line configuration, as the product comes around, we're identifying it, we're then printing the label and putting it on. As we start to build pallets, we will scan a carton, and that will give us what the information is we need to print the pallet label. One of our customers using this is actually Nash Produce, and they are a brand owner and co-packer of sweet potatoes with multiple lines and pack styles. They needed a high-speed packing system, and they selected Redline Packing for that job. They do a combination of print on demand as well as manually print and apply onto products, as well as a print and apply system. And they are meeting not only the Wal-Mart requirements, but also other customers. So the value from compliance really comes from getting the real-time visibility. That includes your bulk inventory, your pack-out process, and eliminating the manual data entry errors, as well as the lag time between data collection and data being visible in the system. We like to capture and validate the source lots prior to delivering them to the line to avoid any delays caused by dumping the wrong bins. We then will print and apply those labels and can even use that information to automate the receipt into the cooler. So in summary, PTI retailer requirements have begun and will continue to grow. Traceability information can be used not only to find your product if there is a recall, but to quickly clear you if your commodity is implicated but your product is not involved. Get started now so you can be ready, and you don't have to start with full production. You can start small and scale up. To be successful, make Redline Solutions your partner for PTI.